And at one point, she was a news anchor in Nebraska.
Wow. That's a whole different ball game right there.
And I can't even imitate the news accent.
I can imagine.
I was like, well, the people will be so shocked at the moment they say cut, and she's like, "Oh, I ain't on the air. Hey, man, what's happening with these?"
Yeah,
when she get to talking for real,
go right back. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of getting back to the Imperial Courts guy, and even with Snowfall with Damson. A lot of the English actors, the Black English actors that are getting hired to do jobs that could have been given to Americans, a lot of it comes down to they're just a lot cheaper. They're willing to go cheaper.
Yeah,
like
much cheaper.
You can pay him $1,000 a day, or you can pay somebody from England $400 a day that can have the same exact accent.
Straight economics.
It's economics.
But in Damson's case, they brought in WC.
That's true.
Yeah, you know, like
dialect.
I guess he had to American but somebody was like, he don't sound like he from the hood.
Yeah.
So they had to bring in South Central legend Dub C.
Yeah,
to for West Side Connection.
We have to remember too, people from other countries have been watching us talking movies for 100 years. They can mimic us perfectly.
Yeah,
we don't watch movies from England.
I can't do an Irish guy.
Yeah, I can't do none of that stuff.
But an Irish guy seen minutes. He seen boys.
He's seen him 1,000 times.
So he could probably do me way better than I could do him.
And that's what people need to understand. They've been watching our movies.
But why bring him in to me? You let me do me.
Let me do me. Yeah. It's honestly, it's an economic thing. It's a lot cheaper. And also, they're not coming over here with that ego. You gotta remember, as an American actor has an ego, especially they've been in stuff before. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can. I'm not gonna play no supporting actor. I was just a lead. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, you ain't gonna talk to me any kind.
Yeah, you ain't gonna talk to me no type of way. Blah blah blah.
That you want something to drink? Yeah, still though, man.
My cousin's Cuba Gooding Jr. You can't talk to me like that.
But you know, that's another thing though. Like for instance, right now, Netflix 5 or 6 years ago used to have some independent Black films on there, right?
Yes.
Now you can't find any independent Black films. And the closest thing you can find to independent Black films are all Nigerian films. And somebody told me that the licensing deals that they would give me or you, there's certain standard deals. Like
I didn't know that.
Like the minimum 2-year licensing deal is like $150,000. So if they were to take one of our films, that's what they would give us. But then they would also charge back, like they want to deliver it in 26 languages, stuff like that. And we would have to, you know.
That would be our responsibility to give it to them in that many languages.
Yeah. You know. And so, and if you ever had to close caption a film or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Regular closed caption is, you know, it's relatively cheap.
Yeah.
But have this dubbed in Mandarin, have this dubbed in have this dubbed in French.
Yeah.
You know, so but the Nigerian films, apparently they're licensing them for 20 or 30,000.
Okay.
So based on pure economics, if we're bringing an independent film that not necessarily has any star power, just a cool story, it'd be $100,000 cheaper to bring in the Nigerian dude under the same circumstances. And then the other thing is that they've kind of figured, because a lot of people don't realize this, when Netflix figures out that you're Black, everything on your suggested, even if there's only one Black character in the movie, that's what you will see the image for all that. So when the Netflix algorithm figures out that you're Black, it's just going to show you Black movies. And their thought process is, oh, Black people is I'm going to watch. So they look. So if they think me and you are going to watch this Nigerian film simply because it has Black people in it, and it's cheaper than, say, a dude from Detroit's film, then that's what they're going to go with. So the Africans, and the UK and the gentleman from the UK, they're plain and simply they're cheaper than us.
That's crazy.
There's certain things that me and you not gonna go for that they not tripping on.
Right.
You know, there might be certain things, a little microaggression or something like that. We might be like, hey, hold on, man. Hey man, this some racist whoop-de-whoop.
Yeah.
And then, you know how it is in this industry. If you call out somebody doing you wrong, people will act like you're difficult to deal with.
Yeah. Monique, what happened with Monique?
Exactly. Yeah. So if they can bring in some two dudes that look like us, who ain't gonna never trip, and is 5 times cheaper.
Yeah. It's economics. It's economics. And I understand as a filmmaker, economics does matter because you do have a budget and you try to stick to the budget.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't have a choice. If you use your own money, you're just gonna run out of money. Sometimes you ain't got a choice but to stick to the budget.
Yeah. and budget is everything in this game. Like, for instance, to me, one of the rawest dudes that ever pick up a camera was Hype Williams.
Yes.
And Hype Williams, he got a chance to do Belly, and he went dramatically over budget.
Yes.
And still didn't get, like, some people will watch Belly critical, and I'd be like, you can't really critique Belly because if you really listen to Hype, there were so many things that wanted to be added in. Like Nas was supposed to there were supposed to be parts in Africa with Nas. There was supposed to be
no African shots at all.
The interaction between DMX and the minister was really way more pronounced. There was way more, and it showed how DMX was supposed to go from I'm just getting close to him to kill him to actually being a true convert.
Right.
But the minister knew along, like maybe 30-40% of the movie got cut.
Yeah. And I believe that. As a filmmaker, I know that's how it happens.
And basically, and they never really gave Hype another chance at doing the movie.
And clearly they didn't even shoot the scenes and have a director's cut. Nobody's never saw none of those scenes you talking about.
They just in the script.
They but nobody.
If those
they never got shot.
Been shot. It would have been so much more of an epic film.
It would have.
Back in the days when I was a kid, there was a movie called Heaven's Gate.
Yes.
And Heaven's Gate actually bankrupted the studio.
Oh. Dang.
And I actually saw a version of it. It was about an hour and a half, right? And it was a completely idiotic movie. And they invested so much money and it flopped so badly that the studio literally went out of business.
Yeah.
Well, as an adult, they restored the full actual cinematic version. Like I said, the version I saw was an hour and a half. The full movie was actually 3 hours.
Oh, geez.
So they cut 50% of the movie.
Yeah.
So there was plot lines that didn't make any sense. There was characters that appeared and never saw again. But then the full story was like, oh, this is almost a masterpiece.
Yeah.
But somebody at the studio said, we over budget. Nobody's going to sit in the theater for 3 hours and watch this. And so they massacred it and it flopped.
Right.
And that's how I view Belly, that if only he could have shot the full vision.
Yeah.
But what amazes me, though, is that he never got another chance to do another one.